I know, running a little behind. Somebody posted, they were like, have you started yet?
We're actually doing better right now, though. We're doing better
No,
than what we would ordinarily be doing.
yeah, that's because I'm with you.
What you
Because
mean? Because you're with
when
me?
I'm in the group with the sisters and I'm just coming on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on time.
You show up a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So why you give me the short end of the stick, but for everybody else, you get them, the good.
Whatever. I'm lying. I be late all the time. Look, what's going on,
Hey, what's up,
Stephanie?
y'all?
We are just coming to y'all really quickly this evening. This is not, a typical live
Thursday
stream.
night
It's a
live
Thursday
stream.
night
Yeah.
situation where we talk about.
And Happy New Year, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm kind of
Oh
taking over.
yeah, good.
I'm sorry. So we got we got the Audible coming over here on this page. We got the Blam Facebook page over here, and we got YouTube in front of us. But like my wife just mentioned, this is not our normal Thursday night live. Really, we just wanted to say Happy New Year to all of you all, and then drop a few gems about what this New Year's will probably look like for you. As many of you may have already made New Year's resolutions, and some of y'all may have already broken the New Year's resolutions, but they
It's
number
day
two.
two.
They number
But
two.
that's true though.
Yeah, they number two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of goals do y'all have? I want y'all to drop a goal. Let us know. I'm going to pray more. I'm going to eat less. I'm going to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to manage my money.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on top of my mind and, you know what I mean, kind of take things to the next level in terms of my outlook. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to write that book. I mean, I can just go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be day two. And you have all these big old, huge goals with huge, huge first steps. And you realize, Lord, I done set myself up.
Yeah.
That step was a little bit too big.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to talk tonight really quickly. Again, the operative words here are really quickly, because we're not going to keep you very long, about the stages of change and how to evaluate, how to measure if you really about it or not. So I don't care what you're thinking about this evening. I don't know if you're thinking about your relationship, right? If you want to make some changes, maybe you need to leave somebody that you should have left a long time ago. Right? Maybe you need to do some things differently. You need to show up differently, or perhaps you really are trying to get on top of your mind and your mindset and stop being so negative, stop being so critical of yourself, or, feeling down and allowing yourself to get down into places of depression, or letting your anxiety take over, whatever it is, right? Or push yourself to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been dealing with the same thing for so long. I done prayed about it, told my grandmama and my mother about it, and I'm still struggling. Maybe I need to do something a little bit different, and I need to come outside of what I know and do something different. How do you know if you're really ready for change? Because we can get excited.
We can.
And we can get enthusiastic.
We can do major and big toast. We can pour liquor out. We can have glasses of water. We can get on our knees at 11:59 and pray, bring in the new year in church. We can do all of that.
And at 12:01, you ain't ready for change no more than you was at 11:59. Do you hear me? So the reality is that there are some things that have been studied about the process of change for human beings, at least in the social, emotional kind of change, personal development, mental health world. And there are some things that we know about the process for change. And so we wanted to share this with y'all this evening, because I want y'all to keep it real, keep it 100. See, you cannot change anything that you're not willing to acknowledge. And the first place you gotta go is within. You gotta look like, where am I at? Where am I really? I got big dreams and big thoughts and big goals, and I'm feeling good, but I don't really know how serious I am. And so tonight we want y'all to be able to come away from this knowing whether or not, you're full of it or not. And sometimes I just had to look at myself and be like, Iana, you full of it. You just be talking.
And that's a really important point right there. That's a really important point, y'all, because you do be full of it.
Yeah.
You do be full. Sorry.
Why don't you just take ownership?
We both be full of it. No, I do. And so what I want to give you all permission to do is to really own your stuff. I mean, really own the fact that, sometimes you're coming up short. Sometimes you're really not on point. Sometimes you might blow big. Sometimes you might, say that you got a good game. But the reality is that you're playing real small right now. And so we want to give you permission, number one, to own that. And if that's where you are, then that's where you are. It don't mean that you got to stay stuck there, but you would need to at least at first acknowledge that that is where you are in order to move from that space.
Okay, so there are 6 stages in the change process, and I just want you all to be able to get this quickly this evening so that y'all can know where you are. Again, it doesn't matter what you're thinking about or what you're focusing on. There's 6 stages to change in human beings for the most part. All right. And the first stage of change is, for all of my social workers, counselors, mental health people out there, is pre-contemplation. Pre-contemplation. So what is pre-contemplation? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's not yet really acknowledging that a behavior needs to be changed. You ain't really even, there. You haven't said what it is. You might have something in your subconscious, something deep down in your spirit. You know how
you're not really even aware.
You're not but sometimes, see, this is my belief. We always know. We on some level, we always know exactly what the issue is and exactly what we need. Because I talk to people all the time about the fact that just because you come and sit with me, or you come and sit with my husband, or you go see the doctor or whatever, we don't have the answer.
Yeah.
I don't have the solution, but I can partner with you because I'll be your co-captain, but you are the pilot. You are leading your life. You know what you need. I can tell you all kinds of things, and you can sit there in your spirit and know, that sounds so fabulous, but that shiznit would not work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that, don't y'all have those feelings? So I try to help folks understand that you are at the head of your process and empower people to really not get into this place of looking for someone to give them the solution, right? But you do oftentimes need someone to help partner with you, to be able to bounce some things off of, to have a partner for accountability, for safety, right? Just, so you're not alone in it. But guess what? You know what's going on at the end of the day. 9 times out of 10, you just may not know all the details, and it may not be fully in your conscious mind, but you know. So when we talk about pre-contemplation, don't confuse that to mean that, okay, so what do you know or do you not know in that stage? What it means is that you're walking around either blind to your issues, or sometimes it's willingly blind, right? Like let me give you an example. Y'all want an example? You want an example? Have you ever known someone who was in a relationship and their man was cheating on them? Oh, yeah. And you knew because of how he carried himself, what his energy was like, you know what I'm saying? Your cousin and them knew, right? Your grandma knew, everybody knew, even the kids knew, like something ain't right there. But they didn't know. They, like, when they actually found out when something went down, it's like, oh my gosh. And everybody's kind of like, I mean, and so for them, their experience is that, like, I really didn't know, but you didn't want to know, right? And so that's what I mean by kind of hiding things from yourself. And so you know that there's a change that needs to happen. I need to address this with this man. I need to do something different. I can't allow myself to be in a situation where I'm not being cared for and loved. I need to leave. I need to do something. I need to go to counseling, whatever, so I can get my courage, whatever. But you're in this place of pre-contemplation. You haven't even acknowledged that there's a problem. Doesn't mean you don't know it for real in the pit of your stomach and in the back of your mind, but you haven't acknowledged it. That's called the pre-contemplation stage.
So even in this stage right here, y'all, what my wife is saying is absolutely correct. What I want to add to it though is that even though you may know at a deeper and subconscious level, in some situations, really, I mean, it's out of people's awareness, and it's genuinely out of people's awareness in the sense that, again, they haven't had a mirror reflect that particular issue to them. So they haven't been in a relationship that held up the mirror to them to say that this right here is your issue. They haven't experienced a work engagement or some type of situation that was uncomfortable for them. They haven't hit rock bottom to let them know that this right here is your issue. So in many situations, sometimes it takes something external to expose you to you. And so when you become exposed to you, you can then also still be in a pre-contemplation phase. But again, the reality is that it may be out of your awareness until you're confronted with a difficult situation that shows you that you got some stuff that you need to work on. And so once you actually, are confronted with the issue that you need to work on and you're exposed to that thing, then you transition into the second stage. You transition to the second stage when it comes to, you're going through this whole change process. And the second stage, y'all, is the contemplation stage. So we had pre-contemplation, and now we're going to move on to contemplation. And this is when you actually start to mess with that. When you get some clay in your hand, you kind of play with the Play-Doh, you play with the clay, you kind of roll the ball in your hand and that type of thing. That's what you're doing when you're in the contemplation phase. You're looking at the issue, you're playing with it, but you're not really necessarily making a decision to actually move on that particular issue. And before we continue any further, y'all, if y'all feel like what we share so far is a benefit, please go ahead and share this video right here. Because we got 3 or 4 more to go. So please share this video right here, y'all. But again, in this contemplation phase, you're playing with that thing. So you know it's something that you need to work on. I know I need to lose 30 pounds. I know I need to eat better. I know I need to make love to my wife more. I know I need to go out here and get another job. I know I need to, spend more time with the children. But I know I need to do X, Y, and Z. And so I'm contemplating all of these things. But
the French fries taste so good, though.
They do. They taste extremely good.
Weighing the pros and cons.
Yes. And I don't want to spend all hours of the night working. Yeah. And I don't want to necessarily be up all night making love. So you got all of these different things that you're trying to reconcile. So with that being said, you got to toss that thing around in your mind and see whether or not you're going to make the decision to actually move on.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all got that? You got pre-contemplation, then you're in contemplation. You heard what that looks like. Now, if you're in this stage, the stage is preparation or determination, right? It's the preparation stage. And that preparation stage looks just like what it sounds. You start to do some research. You're at work, and now for like the last 2 years, you've been, messing around in that contemplation stage and kind of going back and forth in your mind. And now, you start to take about an hour at work and you start research. You start Googling and going deeper. You're supposed to be doing some other stuff. You on the internet, looking up, where can I go and where can I get some help with this, right? You start to change your habits and you start to look at, wait a minute, where is someone out here doing this already? You start looking on Facebook, perhaps you start Googling, you start looking at your community. You talk to folks like, well, have you ever, been to blah, 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 right? You start to articulate it more and you start to put it out in the atmosphere so that if someone is talking about you with a common friend, they might say, oh yeah, Iyanna is thinking about whatever, right? I can't even think of an example, right? Because now you are starting to put it out there and you are really preparing. And so that means that when you are doing things that require you to have to pull together information, you start making statements like, this has got to change. I can't do this anymore. This is not working for me. You know what? I am tired every time I get to the end of the month. I'm trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. This is ridiculous. I'm tired of this. What's that man's name? What's his name? Dave Ramsey. What's his name? What is this? I got to find him. What's the name of the book he got, right? And you say, let me go ahead and just order that book. I'm gonna go on Amazon right now. Let me just start there. I have to do something different and I need to do it now. That's when you're getting into this place of preparation and determination. And so many people think that they're already, way down the road when oftentimes they're in these first 3 stages. And some people think they done already made the change just because they wake up and say, you know what? I ain't doing it no more. I ain't smoking cigarettes no more. Today was my last day. That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
Well, we already know that it doesn't always work like that. It doesn't mean that people don't quit cold turkey, right? But absolutely, there are stages to this. So that's the 3rd stage.
But you know what, though? People get it twisted, though. People think that just because they're going through the preparation phase that they've actually succeeded. Yeah, exactly. They think that they've actually done the work. But really, preparation is only a part of the process.
Right.
When people sit in front of my wife and I for counseling and coaching sessions, we tell them all the time, we can't do your push-ups for you. We can tell you how to do it. But the reality is that you got to get down on your hands and knees and you got to do your own push-ups. Until you do that, you're not going to get the muscles. Until you do that, you're not going to be able to build up the internal reserve that you need to go through difficult situations. So again, the preparation, the intellectualization, the analyzation, the reading the books, the listening to tapes, the watching the videos, the listening to us is not doing the work, y'all. It's the preparation part, which is necessary.
Yes.
But you got to get down on your hands and knees and do your push-ups.
Right. And don't sleep on it. It's not as if it's not essential to your healing and to your growth and to your process. I shameless plug for the Art of Overcoming with Iyanna Ma'at on Facebook. And we're branching out and going all over to connect with each other. But that's really some women and myself. We're coming together, creating a community, and we send each other energy and we share stories and what we're dealing with and what we're feeling and who's working on this and who's working on that. We're focused on forgiveness right now, right? And all of this kind of stuff. But that's not the work. The work is not the Facebook group. The work is not us exchanging. The work is in our everyday lives as we move and flow, making the decisions that we need to make when we're at a crossroads. You know what I'm saying? Challenging our own negative thinking when we're at a crossroads. That's the real work. And when we come back into community or into these places where we get this information, right? That's where we kind of fuel up, but that's not the work. So don't get it twisted. The work is really about doing stuff that usually makes you quite uncomfortable. Well, yes, indeed it does, right? Don't make you like looking at us right now like, oh, that's a good point. That ain't the damn work. Let me just tell you right now. It's not. But it can add unto you. So stage 4, okay? And we're coming up, we have 6 stages and we'll be done.
Yeah, please share. Stage 4.
Let me just say this. before I forget. So I am starting a course. It's going to be a 4-week course. It starts this coming weekend. There are still spaces in the course. It's New Mind, New Me. Okay. And I'm going to drop the link here. When this is over, it is very, very reasonable, but in the spirit of doing the work for real, right? And not just kind of like getting in the rah-rah of it, but really making sure that you're focused and you're connecting with other people and you have some accountability in terms of whatever your issue is. This course is about focusing on one issue with intention, whether it's emotional, mental, how you're feeling on the inside, whether it's very, very concrete in terms of some action steps that you need to take. And there's different levels in terms of the level of accountability and closeness that I can work with folks on in that. So I will drop that link, but that's New Mind, New Me. I want you to pay attention to that and just check it out when this is over. Yeah. All right, so stage 4.
Stage number 4, y'all, is taking action.
Taking action.
You got to put your feet to the ground. You got to take action.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when I was selling the Herbalife. I had to put these little flyers up on these telephone poles, y'all. And at the bottom of each flyer, how you can take like a little, a thread from the flyer that had your phone number on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would put on those little threads, a vision without works is dead. And that's a biblical passage too. So a vision without works is dead. And so essentially what I'm saying here, y'all, is that when it comes to you in these stages of change, you can have the pre-contemplation, the contemplation, you can have the preparation, but if you ain't got the action, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead, y'all. You got to make sure that you're actually getting out there and doing the things. And so what does this look like? I mean, if you have made a New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't changed what you're bringing up in your house, what's in your refrigerator right now, you're not taking action.
Right.
You're not taking action. If you made a New Year's resolution to lose weight and you have not taken time to actually exercise, you're not taking action. If you made a New Year's resolution to get to actually improve the relationship that you have with your spouse, but you're not kissing your partner, you're not getting close with your partner,
you all in your
you
head.
Really ain't spent no quality time with your partner, you're not taking action.
Yeah.
Action is the next step when it comes to the stage of change. You got to take action, and it's going to be uncomfortable, y'all. It's been plenty of times where I've been beefing with this one right here, and I ain't wanted to take action, but I did.
Right here.
But I did because I love her, and I love her dearly. And
I challenge you.
Yeah, you do. You do challenge me. Yeah, and I challenge you too.
Yes,
you do. But you got to take action.
Yeah. So just to put a point on this is where you are really depending on your own willpower. You're depending on your own internal resources. So in the stage that we talked about beforehand, we talked about preparation, right? And so you're coming and you're connecting with other people and that kind of thing. Once you've gotten the information, right, you come together, right? Whether you're coming in the Art of Overcoming, right? And you come to a meetup and we start to do those, whatever, right? You come and get your resources, right? And then when you're in action, now it's you. It's you and God. It's you and yourself. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to resist temptation. I'm going to, endure the discomfort, right? Whatever it is, that's when it is that you have to actually do something that is different than what you have done in the past. When you are at those crossroads moments, because everybody has crossroads moments on their path to change. What's up, Jay? All people have crossroads moments. So you kind of need to know what your triggers are, right? Who makes you want to go off on them? What is it that makes you want to pick up that fork and, have some more? What is it that really compels you to go to a place of feeling really bad about yourself and not staying focused on the things that you say you want? What causes you to do that? Because those are your crossroads moments. And when you know it, when they are coming and you know what they look like, you can be ready for them. And that's when you can take this action. So again, stage 4 is action.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Angela. I see you shared it to a couple of people in the group.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Angela. We appreciate that.
Stage 5.
Stage 5, y'all, is a really important stage, and it's a difficult stage too. It's the maintenance phase. It's when you maintain the progress that you made when it comes to you changing. And this is a really difficult one, y'all. So I said early on that some of y'all may have already broken your New Year's resolutions already. Right. But for those who are still going strong 2 days in,
2 days in, 48
2
hours
days in, yes, you're in that action phase. What I would say is that you need to keep maintaining that thing. I know it's going to be difficult, but the reality is that you need to keep on maintaining it, because in doing that, you're only going to build your own internal strength and your belief in self. It builds self-confidence.
And so when you're in the maintenance stage, I want you to understand that this is a stage that you typically tend to live in for some time when it comes to change, because learning how to change for real in a certain way, it doesn't happen overnight. Just because you've been doing it for 60 days, Well, I mean, I know that would feel like a long time for me. In an area where you're really struggling, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to show up differently with this person, right? I'm trying to, lift myself up and, make myself go out and connect with other people and push forward. Like, 60 days is a long time.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to constantly be renegotiating how you're going to live your life, because we all have the stresses of life. We all got to get, well, I don't know if we all got to, but many of us got to get dinner on the table for kids, right? You got all the pressures of life. We got our jobs and our businesses and everything to hold down, right? We have different kinds of goals that we are looking to get. We want to have certain kinds of connections and so forth. And you want me to change too? I want to change. That's hard. That's hard. Hey, Kelly. So we are constantly in the maintenance stage, renegotiating and reformulating our techniques. What might have worked for you in the first week or 2 weeks may not work for you after the first 30 days. And what works for you in the first 60 days does not work anymore. It does not keep you motivated. It does not compel you when you are in month 4 or 5. You understand what I'm saying? And so just expect that that's going to happen, because as you're in the maintenance stage, what is it that we're trying to do when we're so very much aware of it? Because it's not natural to us. We have now fully completed the process of change. We are in process. What are we trying to do? Most of the time, we're trying to avoid relapse. We're trying to avoid relapse. I don't want to go back there, because then I feel so bad and I'm going to feel like, oh my goodness, I ain't going to never change. Why did I do that? Whatever. But if we just anticipate that that's a part of the process, if we just recognize, like, I tell my clients all the time, like, you're going to relapse, right? I have clients I work with who are dealing with anxiety.
And that's the sixth stage.
And yeah, that's the sixth stage. And I tell them all the time, like, dude,
relapse is a part of recovery.
Relapse.
Yeah, relapse is a part of recovery, y'all.
Yes.
And so, if you're in a situation right here now, some of y'all might not like to, think about this type of thing, but when it comes to the work that we do, we oftentimes, are seeing couples who are dealing with infidelity, financial issues and stuff like that, really some really serious stuff that really impacts the relationship. And so what we let them know is that, of course, you should have expectations. Of course, you should have standards. But as a person is discovering who they are, they're peeling back the layers and getting a better understanding of self, the reality is that they're going to get acquainted with some stuff that's really ugly, that's really messy. And there's a possibility that there may be some type of relapse that occurs in a relationship, even as they go through the process of healing.
Even for individuals.
Yes. And so that may impact you. But again, it's not to say that they're not on their journey. But what it is to say is that it is a part of the process of change, y'all. And so we got to have patience with the person. We got to have patience with ourselves in that process.
Yes. So once again, guys, we talked about these 6 stages. We told y'all we weren't going to keep y'all on tonight, because we're coming back to y'all on Thursday to do our normal relationship situation.
Hey, but before you say what you're about to say, though, Boo, I know I'm sorry I interrupted you. I do want to say this, y'all, because 2 of the stages we actually covered this evening, we have something that may benefit you on these 2 stages, the action stage and then also the maintenance stage. My wife and I, we decided for like the whole New Year thing, Happy New Year and everything like that we're offering a 43% discount on our counseling services up until Sunday midnight. So you can get that at reallovehelp.com on our counseling and coaching services. Drop the link. reallovehelp.com, 43% discount, y'all. So check that out.
So you have 2 opportunities to be about some real change, right? You have the discounted counseling and coaching, and you also have the Art of Overcoming group, New Mind, New Me, and I'll drop the link for that, which is happening starting this week in 4 weeks of being in community with other women who are serious about going within and doing some stuff that's really meaningful for yourself to create some change. All right, y'all, so here's the 6 stages again. Pre-contemplation, this is when you are not yet acknowledging that there's a problem or behavior issue or whatever that needs to be changed. You fake sleep. It really might be out of your awareness, right? It really might be out of your awareness, but oftentimes on a deeper spiritual level, there is always the knowing that we have about ourselves, because no one can know us better than we know ourselves. reallovehelp.com is correct, Candace. And then contemplation is acknowledging there's a problem, but you're not ready yet. And you're not sure if you want to make a change. You know it's a problem, but back up off me. I'm not sure where I'm at with that, right? Then you have preparation or determination. That's when you're getting ready to change. You're gathering your resources. You're like, wait a minute, something got to change. You're starting to spend a little more time putting your feelers out there to figure out what are you going to do. And then you take action. You take action, right? It's the willpower that you are putting forward at this point. You are changing your behavior. You are doing something. You're pulling in people and things to you that will help you along the way. And so that's the action or willpower stage. Then we have maintenance, right? constantly negotiating and renegotiating all the different stuff we got to deal with in life, all the people, and trying to avoid relapse. But then we recognize that relapse is a part of the process, that it's always about progress. It is not about perfection. It's not about perfection with our individual goals, right? It's not about perfection in our relationships. It's about progress. So again, wherever you are in this new year of 2018, just recognize where you are. Be okay with where you are. And then look at yourself and say, where can I push myself a little bit further? Where can I push myself a little bit further as I'm in this process of change, Again, we're going to drop the link for the New Mind, New Me. This is for women, for sisters who want to connect with me starting next weekend. It's actually a class that's happening on Saturdays and on Mondays, Saturday mornings and Monday evenings. Like it's two separate classes, not 2 nights or 2 days a week. One is a Saturday and one is a Monday. So I will drop the link there so that you all can get information about that. And then, of course, Sunday, midnight, that is going to be the end of our discount where we are offering 43.
Yeah, 43%
off. 43% off of counseling and coaching with myself and my husband. We hope that this has been of help to you.
Yeah.
Please continue to share this. If you think that it was helpful, send it in a message, put it on your page, tag somebody.
I want to shout out Chef. I want to shout out Chef Dave. Chef Dave, he said, hi, I'm Chef Dave. I want to thank you guys for bringing me closer to my wife. I always got to give guys shouts out who are representing the relationship thing and letting the world know that they're actually benefiting from the information that we're giving. Because when guys say that, it's not easy, y'all.
Yeah.
A lot of guys get judged negatively, called simps and all of that type of stuff when they profess their love for their wife.
You showed your age. You said simps.
No, I'm saying I've been called a simp, so that's the reason why I'm saying it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, all right, y'all. That's it. That's all. Go ahead and share this, please. Tag somebody. Let us know where you are in your stage of change. We go back and we look at the comments. And for all of those women out here who are about your business, confident, competent, but you got some issues, right? And you ain't scared to be real about it. Maybe you are a little bit scared, but you're all right with being scared. Or maybe you're not all right with being scared, but it's all a part of the process. Come on over to the Art of Overcoming with Deanna on Facebook and join us there. I will drop the link to that as well. Guys, none of this is going to make any sense. It ain't going to do nothing because like we already told y'all, this ain't the damn work. It ain't going to do nothing if you don't stop playing.
And start pushing, y'all.
Start pushing.
All right, y'all. See y'all Thursday.
See y'all. Bye, YouTube. As usual, y'all the last one.